Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. Oh, what a goal! An absolute stunner. Marvellous effort, 1-1. It flicked off Van Persie, it's ended in the back of the net, and Uruguay looked to a flag that didn't come. As the Dutch master put Holland in the World Cup final. Played into Maxi Pereira. Oh, lovely effort. Are they back in it? Is there still another twist in the marvellous semi-final? The final whistle sounds, and where the great Dutch team failed, can Holland of 2010 go one better and lift the trophy?
Good evening. Africa's World Cup has turned into Europe's party as Germany and Spain bid to join Holland in the final. Hard to think of a more attractive prospect. This is Spain's first appearance in the semi-finals of the World Cup. It's not Germany's. Alongside the two Allens, Clarence Seedorf is here to check out Holland's opponents for Sunday's final. Congratulations, Clarence.
Well, thank you.
Your team did you proud into the final. Then Holland must be jumping.
They did. They're more than jumping. They're swimming too in the canal. So.
And who's going to join them?
Well, it's a tough call here. I mean, you know that I said that Germany would have had the best, but that was before seeing the Spanish getting in the last half hour of the quarters, and they really showed what they can do.
It's interesting, they divided. Spain, who we thought were the great footballing team, have sort of ground the way to the semi-final, whereas Germany have been the sort of most flamboyant team.
It's absolutely fascinating, it really is. And if you look at the Germans, it's like a German machine, total efficiency. But it's a system that everybody knows what they're doing. Yes, they get men behind the ball. Yes, they protect the back four. But at the same time, when they break with speed, fluency, and at times it's totally devastating. And very rarely when they're breaking does it go sideways or backwards. It's always right at the throat. I mean, the Spanish, they started poorly. I don't think they've yet reached the dizzy heights we expect of them. Torres has really struggled. Villa's been magnificent. But for me, the key for the Spanish is always the midfield two of Xavi and Iniesta. And if you give them time and space, they will hammer you. And for the goal against Portugal and the goal against Paraguay, they linked up so well, so you can't afford to give them any time and space.
Does the fact that this is Spain's first ever World Cup semi-final and Germany have played 11, does that make any difference to tonight's game or not?
I think we could have said that if Spain hadn't won the Euros 2 years ago, because the title word of Spain, they've been in this position before, the expectation they couldn't handle it, but they came up with the goods then in spectacular fashion. Germany, for me, have been the team of the tournament without a shadow of a doubt. I think they've been excellent in the majority of the games they've played.
Hard to keep peaking, though. Hard to keep playing
that's the
as well as they've done.
4 against England, 4 against Argentina. Can they keep on putting those performances in? People would say, why not? But I think they're going to have to tonight. Spain, as Alan said, haven't really played particularly well yet, haven't reached the heights that they did in the Euros 2 years ago. But with the players in their team, we're just waiting for them to click.
The Germans haven't gone behind yet, and also they've played against 2 defences in the last 16, the last 8 that have been abysmal. I mean, they're up against a better defence tonight, better organised. It'll be really interesting to see that when they do counter-attack, how Spain cope with it.
Yeah, the interesting news that has come from Durban is that Fernando Torres, who's been struggling in this tournament, certainly in terms of fitness and sharpness and goals, of course, is not in the Spanish starting lineup. He's been dropped for this one. He's on the bench. This is how Spain start, and Pedro, the young player from Barcelona, has come in his place. That's the only change. And
well, I don't think it's a surprise. I mean, we've said 3 or 4 times that Torres is a shadow of the player we've seen in the Premiership. I think the surprise is Pedro. I mean, Fabregas, when he came on against Paraguay, I thought was really good, and I thought that system worked perfectly, where it was 4 at the back and 5 in the middle of the park, but obviously he's gone with Pedro.
You're a bit surprised about that, Clarence? Not the fact that perhaps he's left Torres out, but that it's Pedro that's come in rather than perhaps Llorente or even, of course, Fabregas.
Yeah, no, actually I expected that because Pedro, you know, is a very good player on the wide side of the field. Iniesta, I think, will play on the left and Pedro on the right and Villa in the middle. 1 against 1, the Germans go up with their left and right back, so that's where they get the space too, and you have to have quality players there.
It's a bit of a surprise because in the previous 2 games, when Torres has come off, they brought Llorente on. In the previous game, they brought Fabregas on, and indeed looked a better team on both occasions when that happened. So it is a bit of a surprise, yeah.
The Germans have made 1 change as well. It was, of course, a forced change because Müller is out of the side on the right-hand side and Trokowski's come in. Aside from that, it's pretty much the same side, format and plan that's worked so well so far, Clarence.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is a team that they have it all, and they're also entertaining. We don't know all of that about the Germans, and if we look back...
they get entertaining and most efficient.
Exactly.
For me, every single one of them in the performances that they've shown us, Gary, they know exactly what they're doing. They're well drilled. It looks a well-oiled machine to me. Yes. And they look as if they're really enjoying their football. They're scoring goals, they're defending very well. So they've looked the perfect team in the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, they've been the outstanding team in the tournament so far. You know, as we said before, the system is perfect where they get men behind the ball, and when they break in numbers, but they do it so quickly, they don't let the opposition get a chance to get organised.
OK, well, this game will be played in Durban, already in the Moses Mabhida Stadium. Mark Lawrenson and Damien Johnson.
Well, the Moses Mabhida Stadium, a fantastic setting for tonight's semi-final between Germany and Spain. Mark, you've seen both of these sides over the last few weeks. Which is better placed to make it to the final?
I'm going to go for Spain, Damien, because the Germans haven't played against a team of such a good midfield. Now, there's no Torres starting for Spain tonight. Pedro comes in. He's almost a little bit sort of midfielder, come a striker as well. So, in terms of keeping the ball, I think that's going to be a problem for the Germans.
What's happened to Germany in this tournament? Most people had written them off, but they've been a revelation.
I'll tell you what's happened to them. They've got it absolutely right. They played with the ball for 6 months in the Bundesliga. The preparation has been fantastic. They've got a great mixture of young players, therefore young legs and old experience, and they've just come out and they've gone for teams and they've done fantastically well.
Crucially, though, no Thomas Müller tonight, 4 goals in the tournament.
Well, that's a little bit of a blow to them, but, you know, I'd be more worried if it was no Closer or Schweinsteiger or even somebody like Philipp Lahm. Muller's a blow to them, but not massive.
You mentioned Torres before. I mean, what's the thinking behind leaving him out? Still struggling a bit with a knee?
He's struggling, but I'm also surprised that Llorente's not playing either. The other guy who's 6'4" and coming in done extremely well. So, Pedro, I think, for Spain, reflects